On Elemental 33.
This is Axis. We are here to talk about the League of Legends. Okay, let's not think like that. It's creepy.
Okay.
Alright, good. Now, we're going to do a couple of things here. This is sort of an informative, informational, interrogation of intestinal igabus. We're going to talk about the new hero, a couple of champions from this week's rotation, and, of course, the news. So, without further ado, let's talk about Urgot, Airwolf, whatever, Urgot. The Headmaster's Pride. There you go.
He is fat, and I have not looked at him other than skimming his facts. Time of recording, they have not announced his damage yet, so we can't really say for sure.
And that's Spaz's review style for you.
I look up ahead of time.
He doesn't really
look at stuff.
But that's just how he does things. He sort of gives lazy reviews. But that's me. This is Axis, and let me give you my thoughts on Urgot before we actually get any numbers out for him. Urgot himself, he's what a lot of people are thinking is, he's probably the Spider Queen mock-up. That's pretty much based on appearance and some of the similarities in the game files. I used to play a lot of Dota, so the first thing I think when I saw his abilities was, oh, it's Vengeful Spirit. Now, granted, he doesn't have the Beast Stun, he doesn't have the Damage Aura, but he has the most fun part of Vengeful Spirit, which was the swap, his Hyperkinetic Position Reverser. Now, his passive has made a lot of people say, well, he's a tank, and from what I read on the PTR, he's got damage coefficients and AP coefficients, which makes me think, well, he can play as a damage, he can play as an anti-carry because of his innate, and he can play, as a good initiator with his ult. But I think the fact that he's got both a damage coefficient and an AP coefficient will put him in the hybrid category, leaning towards tanks, which I think is going to leave his damage a little bit scattered, kind of like Galileo, how you can build him damage and you can build him tanky, but it feels like he's a little bit lacking in both areas. So that's my thoughts on Urgot. I think he'll be fun, but I think his damage will either need to be buffed or he'll need to change his coefficients.
I definitely agree. I really am. He's one of the few characters I'm excited to play, just by looking at some of his stuff. He has good synergy with his abilities. You actually have to have a good rotation with him, basing upon the abilities, because he gives more damage to another, gives more effects, and I'm especially looking forward to using his ult to push people towards towers or just cut them off. They just released his skins, and the giant enemy crab is probably the main reason why I'm getting his bundle.
Attack the weak points for massive damage!
Even though people are saying it's from South Park.
Oh, dude, don't even read that wiki. Seriously. Wikis are great, guys, but some of you posters need to,
that doesn't even look like anything from South Park.
Oh no, it's a crab, so it's obviously the
South Park
crab people, because
he's gay.
Guys, think about this wiki for a second. So, yeah. I think it's a lot of time on Urgot. Let's
see who.
Let's look at the weekly champions. Who do we got this week?
All right, we
have. Quick run through. We got Akali, Annie, Blitz, Crank, Corki, Armadinger, Jets, Jax, Kayle, Nunu, Tristana, and Aegir. Now, we're going to do a quick run through. We've done this a couple of times where we kind of talk for a really long time, but we're going to do it quickly. First of all, Akali, Water, I know you play Akali a lot. What do you think?
She's kind of more... I played her since she came out. She was like the first main character.
Let me stop you here. Can you describe her?
She is a gank hero. She's mainly a gank harassment hero. She's a hybrid, of course, so she bases herself both on ability, power, and attack damage. Duh, that's what her passive says. Her main ability, once she hits level 6, is to jump them. Pretty much. She ganks from the shadows and slows them down and kills them.
Well, there you go. That's Akali. She's a good burst hero, is what I'm hearing.
Good, very, very good burst hero if you build her right.
Alright, now next we have Annie. Annie is pretty much the high tier mage right now. She's got the best burst. She's got a good stun. She's got a lot of AoE. She's got
Tibbers.
Tibbers, of course, and she's got that. She's got a little bit of extra survivability with that molten shield, and she also has mana back. So she's a very solid mage. She's got a lot of good burst. She's got a little bit of survivability, and she can be built very tanky, especially with a lot of ages. And her coefficients aren't the best, but as far as short games and high elo goes, Annie is the mage you want to play.
Definitely top tier. Next we have Blitzcrank.
Blitzcrank is a hero you either love or you hate. He's kind of like Urgot, I want to say. He has one of the best initiators in the game, Rocket Grab. He can quickly change a team fight with his knock-up. He's a good tank, and he's also a very good damage dealer and initiator. So, Blitzcrank's a solid hero, but it does take a bit of skill with that Rocket Grab.
Corki!
Corki the Daring Bombardier. Great hero. Very, very difficult to see, and there are much better carriers out there, I'm going to be honest, guys. But Corki is a riot to play. He's very fun, and he's a good counter if, say, for the free champions this week, like Akali, that Phosphorus Bomb will just destroy her Smoke Bomb. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's great for farming Teemo Bombs. It's great for farming wards. He's a fun hero, guys, but don't expect to be top tier with him. There are better carries out there.
Next is Heimer.
Banned.
Next. Jax! No, we're kidding. Heimer, he is one of those heroes that if he's on your team, you're happy he's there. But if he's on the other team, it's going to be a really drawn-out fight with his turrets. Main strategy is usually just hide behind him and buff up the turrets and, make sure they stay alive and kind of turtle until it's your turn to strike.
Yeah. Heimerdinger is one of those... He keeps getting nerfed, and he's getting nerfed again. He's getting a really hard nerf. Well, and one of the reasons why is just people feel like he's too powerful, and that's the true thing. Heimerdinger kind of makes games a little bit boring to play. It's like with Soraka. When a Heimerdinger is on a team, it's not that he's overly powerful, but it changes the way the team fights, and it makes it very annoying to engage them and to fight them. So that's one of the biggest complaints, I think, about Heimerdinger is that the way he changes the battlefield. It's not that he's overly powerful in combat, and he's very powerful in combat, but he just changes the way team fights. That's Heimerdinger.
Jax. I have not played him much. So.
Jax is a good hero. He was one of the most powerful ever for a long time, and he got nerfed pretty hard. He's got a lot of nerfs, and he's in a bad spot right now. He's still a very powerful hero, especially in threes.
Yep.
He's one of those heroes you can play as AP or AD, and I think a lot of people like that about him. He's a good anti-physical, and I think that's good, but I do agree. I think he needs a little bit more buffs that we can fill more than just a niche role outside of AP.
Next is Kayle, one of my favorite champions. She is a tank DPS hybrid. She's kind of versatile with her heal and her ranged ability. Her ult is really defensive, but at the same time it could be used to take out a turret. I've used that many times just to walk up and bubble myself just to get that last percentage in. She originally had attack speed as her initial passive, but they changed it up, made it a lot better in these upcoming patches.
Yeah, that's Kayle. She's considered pretty good right now because of her ability to be melee and range and that's slow. Good AP ratios, good ult, good heal, and that's Kayle. Next on the list,
Nanu.
Oh yes, Nanu. He's a very good hero, especially in lower elos and in threes. He's got a good slow. He's got a good heal. And he's got a good ability to support his teammates. That blood boil is fantastic, especially when getting out of a jam. His ult is kind of lackluster when compared to others, but if you pair it with a good hero, like let's say Galileo or Mahmood, someone that can keep either a handful of enemies, any good tank with a taunt really, or a good stun, will really complement Nanu very well. That said, there are better champions out there, but he's still a very solid choice.
With his ult, though, it's kind of, the best way to describe it is a stationary Crowstorm.
I wouldn't even call it that.
Yeah. Next up, Tristana.
Tristana, very good carry. Great against healers, great against people with high...
great range.
Yeah, it's great against pretty much anyone that has a heal. She's one of the higher ranged attack speeds. She's got a great escape mechanism. Good passive, very good ult, and of course damage over time, as well as an ability that increases her attack speed. Now, I'd say that's a rather boring ability, but it's good for a ranged carry, all things considered. And with items like Maldred's and just any attack speed item or heavy damage or heavy crit, very good, very solid.
Built-in attack speed is usually pretty good. Last is Vigor.
Vigor! Oh, controversy over this. Vigor. I used to play all the time.
Me
I love
too.
Vigor. And the recent patch, a lot of people argue he's not the best. And really, he's not the best. He's good for long games. But if you're aiming for long games as is, that's probably not a very good idea. He's got some of the better AP ratios, even after the nerf. But still, he doesn't have the damage he used to. And he's very situational, and his cooldowns are kind of long on his main abilities.
Yeah.
That said, Baleful Strike, Primordial, very good burst skills, but they don't really pack too much of a punch until very, very late game when you get your AP very high.
You gotta really, with Baleful Strike, you really gotta farm those creeps early game, or else you're kind of hindered.
Yeah, Vigor, fun mage, powerful mage,
Great stuff.
but not the best mage out there, especially for shorter games.
So if you're going for a mage this week, pick Annie. If not, go for Vigor.
And if you're just looking for, try something out, there you go.
Yeah. News.
News! Oh, geez, let's, well, first thing that's been on my mind, even so late after it is still the rune pages. I know it's been a while, and still, I'm so frustrated. I mean, I'm glad we can get it for IP, but we need 3 pages by default. I don't care what anyone says. 1 page for each type of character there is should be baseline. I shouldn't have to pay influence points or money for a 3rd page. It's ridiculous. If you agree, if you don't agree, just please post, put it on the right form. Just say, give me a 3rd page. It's a requirement, really.
Yep. Let's see what else. Singe
Riot skins. Oh yes, people are so excited about that. People have been asking about the Riot Singe. Now they know how to get it. I want to get the skin myself.
Donate.
I'm not sure. Not sure if there's going to be an event near where I'm at, but I hope. I very much hope so.
Yeah. I don't even play him. The skin looks really cool. Would give me a reason to play him. He looks fun. But there's some new skins coming out for some other champions. We've got Poppy. She's getting a new blacksmithing skin, as well as...
Which one?
Articuno.
Oh, Aniva.
Aniva's getting an armor skin. Makes her normal skin.
Yeah, a bunch of neat skins coming out, and cheap, too. I'm really actually happy about that. Some 520s, some 975s. Looking really nice.
I can't wait to see their next legendary skin. I wonder who's getting it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Someone I hopefully play.
Yeah. The 2 champions who play, hopefully one of them gets a legendary.
Yeah!
Now,
good.
Other things in the news, skin sales, obviously. Urgot's coming out. The Ashe sale was actually nice. Ashe is a cheap champion to pick up, and then all of her skins were on sale. So, if you're looking to get a cheap champion with some nice skins that were on sale, it's a good deal for you.
Yep.
Other than that, that's really all that's been in the news lately. Patch notes are coming up soon. Guys, make sure you read those patch notes, because, just read the patch notes. I don't care if you're casual, I don't care if you're pro. Always read those patch notes.
You never know what they're going to do to your character.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. That's it.
Before we go,
What?
don't forget to leave us feedback. We have an email address at spasticgaming@gmail.com. Leave us good, bad feedback. Tell us what to talk about.
Yeah,
If there's,
post, email.
like we said, send us, if there's a game that you want us to look at.
No, yeah,
League of Legends,
game to look at it. If you want to tell me I'm completely wrong, if you think, whatever I said about Heimerdinger, if you think the person who reviewed Akali is a total friggin' retard, tell us.
Yeah! Wait.
Such a horde for feedback. Love to hear from you guys. I know we're kind of new on, but, feedback really lets us know that we have people that think we're douchebags.
We'll think you're a douchebag picking on
That I'm, okay, since I'm so, oh yeah, I think children should be beaten up. No, that's not, okay, whatever. Well, this is Axis.
And this has been Water Elemental 33.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Later.